Hello, Jason.
Hello.
Welcome back to the pole barn after Hurricane Milton. I think Milton.
No, Helene.
Helene is the one that got us.
Yeah.
Oh, Helene. Well, we can't be on the porch because
There is no more
the
porch.
porch is gone. But we've had a long break with the FTR.
Mhm.
GNCC is over. National Enduro has one left.
No, they're done.
They're done now.
Yep.
Okay, they did the Gobbler Getter.
Yep.
So really, the only thing we have to talk about is FTR, which was also on a really long break from race 1 to race 2. So as we dive into episode 2 of Beyond the Curve Goes Off Road, I want to talk about this last Bartow race because it was dry.
Yeah.
It was some unique single track, and you had a hell of a race coming from pirouetting off the start to a top 10 overall.
Yeah.
So congratulations on that.
Yep.
In the morning race, obviously we've now aged up so that we don't have to do the afternoon race. But so tell us about the last round there in Bartow.
I mean, overall, it was a good day. Crashed in the second turn. I T-boned another guy that got turned sideways by another guy. So basically, when I went into that turn, there he is, and there was no option. So I hit him and fell and did whatever you said I did. All I know is my head ended up in the dirt and I lost my visor.
Yeah, you it was a beautiful, like, you just, I don't know if it was your plate on your chest protector, but you just literally spun around the bike on top, like pirouetted.
Yeah,
It was very acrobatic.
I was when I hit and I was falling, I was more pleased nobody hit me in the ass. That was my first thought. Because I mean I had a decent start, but by the time I hit the first turn, I was already in mid pack.
Yeah.
So I was all right in the middle, and then I was towards the front when this happened. So there was, I mean, numerous people that could
It
hit
was
me.
it was a unique way to slow the start down. It was a very sweeping left hand corner, and then just a sugar sand right
Sharp right,
hand,
yeah,
sharp right,
yeah.
and it didn't matter how fast you got in. Everybody almost came to a stop.
Yeah, well, everybody came in. Even, I mean, obviously, I don't ride practice, but everybody that did ride practice, they still came in and acted like you were going to turn and just kind of.
Yeah.
Well, no, it was that. So I was when I hit it, and oh shit, we're
Yeah.
we're almost 90 and back the other way.
And there were a few mounds on the outside, so you couldn't really like drift out. You had to kind
Yeah,
of,
yeah,
and it was a unique way to slow everybody down, bunch everybody up. But nonetheless, you start dead last.
dead last, and then I went a couple more turns, fell again, got up, got out of the way of about half of the next line behind me, and then got going.
Okay.
So, and then I just, at that point, I'm like, all right, well, that's how today's going to go.
Well, give us a rundown of kind of everything the fans could see. The track was pretty much open. The standard Bartow Peace River open sections, kind of some flowing trails, sugar sand that also you got the California concrete curbing bumps.
Yeah, it was. I'm trying. They used the sandier layout there,
Okay.
um, because obviously they're just like on the other side of the property. Depending on kind of where you go, kind of dictates what the soil is going to be. Um, there was it was mainly the sandier parts. There was a few wet spots, but nothing crazy.
Yeah.
Like spots you really could just kind of wheelie over and get through. Um, it was open-ish. It was flowing like it always is. I wouldn't say you'd have your wide open section and then they'd put you into a little bit slower. And then we ran the side of that dike on the east side of the property where it was all just a tight single track off camber rooted, which it was fine, other than it sucked for trying to get through lappers, because every lap I caught, that's where I would catch most of them, and you had no choice but to just sit there and wait and get through it. Because I mean, other than a couple little spots, there's nowhere for them to go, so
Yeah.
there's no reason in trying to get pissed off or like just get out of the way whenever we pop out to a spot. It is what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, it wasn't. It was dusty, but it wasn't. It was only dusty if you were with a couple people.
Okay.
It wasn't like when you're by yourself and you're throwing up a cloud by yourself. Like it, like my air filter was. It was dirty, but it wasn't terrible. Realistically, I could go run a few more practices on it and it'd be fine. Like it wasn't ridiculous.
As a fan, yes, it was dusty, but the dust didn't hang. It kind of blew on
Yeah,
through.
there was air moving.
Yeah. I will say it was way better than last year when it was a beautiful day and all of a sudden the bottom fell out.
Yeah,
So
yeah, literally 2 minutes from the start of
yeah,
the noon race or 1 o'clock race.
but when we pulled in, we were like, okay, it's a beautiful day. It's gonna be a little dusty, but as a fan, getting to go walk in different areas, I never once felt like, oh man, I can't see anything and
Yeah,
it's dust. The off camber section, you said it was pretty long this year. That Ruby
yeah, it
section.
was. I mean, obviously, I don't like distance perception. Sometimes gets askew when you're riding. It was at least a couple to a few miles long total, and then like you go, they'd pop you out for a second and go down, and then cut back into another section.
Yeah.
But it was pretty much continuous, and then when you were out of it, you were done. Like you knew you were out of it.
Yeah.
Um, we didn't use anything on the south side of the property, like the field south of the parking area. We used that pit that we dropped down in, but in numerous years past where we've gone further south than it, we didn't use any of that. So we stayed, I guess you say, kind of condensed in. Like it's like a big L. Somebody had a tracking of what it was,
Okay.
and it was basically just like kind of like a giant L ish.
Did we go across the big bridge this year?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, yeah, because that's where. So we ran. So if you got Kissimmee River or Peach River, we ran along it this way to cross it, and then all the single track stuff was on this side of the strip of land, which is then separated by whatever on the far east side.
Okay.
So
Overall, good track.
yeah, it wasn't bad. I mean, obviously, if it had about an inch of rain on it, it'd been perfect. But
Yeah.
it wasn't bad. It held together. It didn't blow out, even though it's dry. It didn't blow out, which is nice because just like you, I've been there before where it's just kind of just powder.
Yeah.
It just there is nothing there. It's just digging and just. But yeah, everything held together.
Yeah. There's a couple of those sugar sand sections out there that
Yeah.
it's almost white sugar sand.
Yes. Yeah. And I mean, we ran that, and I mean, it started whooping up, but it wasn't terrible. Like, and there was humpteen lines
Is
too.
is this the part of the property that has that black dirt section?
Uh, no, that's on the other side.
Okay. Okay.
That's on 80. I know what you're talking about, where it's that.
It's like black dirt,
Yeah, it's like long. It just when.
and it gets powdery.
Yeah, and it goes lights out. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No, that's on the
Okay.
other side.
Okay. I get confused, but we got round two done. We actually had. I heard there was more, but I only saw one name I recognized in the afternoon race, and now his name is escaping me. He's he's raced some Supercross. I think he's done some futures. Oh, dadgummit. Now his name, of course, he's a Florida boy. I think he finished 7th in Double A. But Scott Galler got the win.
I believe so.
So, and they did 5 laps.
Yeah. So they did. That was 55-ish, somewhere around there.
Yeah. Good track. Good. While you're looking that up, because I cannot for the life of me remember. For some reason, I had his name. I've had his name, but I am older, so that happens sometimes. Um, when Michelle and I pulled in on Sunday, you always have to, if you're coming from Bartow, you always have to make the U-turn to come back. And it is such a view going down 17, and you make that U-turn, and it's just boom,
Yeah,
campers and tents and trailers and
yeah.
trucks.
It was very packed
Yeah,
because even like when you came in Sunday, as soon as you came in, it was lined up
yeah,
from the top side of the hill all the way down. When we went out there Saturday, it was like that as well. Where last year we were basically the only ones that were parked out there, and
yeah.
now it's all, which obviously you went in and there's some open spots on Sunday, but in general it was still packed.
And we saw quite a few people heading out Saturday morning or Sunday morning.
Yeah.
All right, hold on. Let me see. Crockett Myers. Crockett Myers is a guy. He's raced some. He's done some future stuff. I think he's one of those guys that I don't know where he trains, but he has done some racing on
Hmm.
the trying to either go pro or is
Yeah.
like a local pro guy.
Yeah.
And that's the only name that I saw. I figure we might start getting some interlopers because seasons are over. I know Arena Cross was getting ready before this race. Arena Cross started last night, but Arena Cross was still on break. Some of your guys go out and have some fun. So
Yeah.
I was kind of looking like, oh, maybe we'll get some. And Crockett Myers was the only name
Yeah.
that I
Hmm.
recognized. So, but no, overall, FTR takes a month long break, and
Is it a month? 2 months?
it was a
Um,
long time,
almost 2 months.
almost 2 months.
Yeah.
And the yearning for the sport in our area was like, it's packed. It's packed. Like these people want to race,
Yeah.
which is going to lead me to kind of like my closing thing. But before we do that, you are my test guru. Have we tested anything? Are we trying any new product? Do we have any reviews?
No.
How are we feeling about the now in-house Rocky Mountain brand MR,
MSR.
MSR?
Well, I mean, I still have all that sets, but I've bought several other things, gear brands
Yeah.
that were on closeout from other places. So, um, no, the only thing that Bridgestone X10 rear, it, it held up fine against what hard pack stuff was there. Um, it hooks up really well.
Does it give you some sort of paddle effect on the?
Oh yeah, I mean you got plenty of drive.
Okay.
There's no, you don't have that spinning feeling like you're just sitting there not moving.
Okay.
So you are propelling forward. Um, so far so good. I mean, I can't really say that it's a terrible tire. Like it is, uh, it is cheaper than Dunlops, but it's along the lines of the MX-12 pattern when they had that one, where you still got good outside lugs, and then you got a smaller paddle down the center, and that's what it is. And so far it's working good. So
Okay.
I keep running it until it breaks.
Next round is Sadra,
Yeah, which is the
December
other side of Bartow.
7th and 8th. We're going to be on 80-foot road
Yep.
this time. Um, I don't know which part of the property they're utilizing.
Yeah.
Uh, there are two distinct ways to run that property. So
Yeah. They can break it. Yeah. It just depends on what they want to do, because
yeah,
they can break it up sectional and do this or do that, or
and there are some ridges on that one that they can get. They can. I've run that a couple times where we were in some tight stuff down on one of the
yeah.
little valleys.
Yeah.
That's also the one where you can be out in one of the pastures, fifth gear pin, and all of a sudden you got to go through two little trees, and then you're fifth gear pinned again,
Yeah.
um, and then the other side is it's like really rough rural pavement.
Yeah. The south side is not fun. I hope that's what is. I hope that's not what it is, because we ran that, what, 2 seasons ago, something like that, and it was just, it sucked.
Yeah,
It's just like riding on concrete nonstop. It just beats the hell out of you. And
I crashed there and slid and hit a embankment, just falling because where they had put the tractor through to make
Yeah.
it, and there was a curb, and I've been a radiator just falling down,
Yeah.
like just falling
Yeah.
there. And it, but there are a couple sections that you have to get to back there that are kind of fun depending on the weather.
Yeah. It's not nonstop, but it's a lot of just hard concrete
Yeah.
with a little bit of fun stuff mixed in, and it's like just it's not like it's slow.
No.
It's just fast, wide, and when it's dusty and the air's not moving, it's like driving down the highway and like white out snow. You can't see.
Yeah, and it is what it is. Like I'm not critiquing the course because there's really nothing they can do to make it better. I mean,
No, just don't use it.
I've raced on it when it's wet too, and that's
Yeah, that's you go from one extreme to
yeah.
another.
So you'd almost rather it be dry. It hurts, but you'd almost rather it be dry. And as I've gotten older, the cojones maybe have gotten a little smaller because I used to actually hit that stuff and like that's where I would catch people
Yeah,
because I just for some reason as scared as it made me, I rode it pretty well.
yeah.
And now it's kind of like, dude, that stuff's bumpy. It hurts. It hurts. Give me some sand. But so that's the next round. Um, I know Jesse Ansley's doing a drive for a charity. I'm sure there'll be some Christmas stuff because this will be the last race before Christmas, I think, and then we'll go
Yes.
straight to Brooksville.
Yes.
So if you are the giving type and you like Jesse, or even if you don't like Jesse, but you're a giving type, take some stuff. He's going to have a big bucket to give.
Yeah, I think they're also doing they were supposed to do it at Punta Gorda, but due to the hurricane that got canceled. Or they were supposed to do a drive for stuff to go to South Carolina, North Carolina, all that stuff
Okay.
up there. But because of everything, that got canceled out. So I think they're also doing that at this one
Okay. So
as
bring your
well.
extra goods.
Yeah, if you got crap to give away that you're just getting rid of, there's
Yeah, canned good
yeah,
drives. I know Jesse's got a list of stuff. You can probably also look at Sadra
yeah,
and but it's a good time. It'll be packed again.
yeah,
It'll be packed. I know that the Jeep Club from Jeeping with Judd is having a ride out there this weekend. They're
yeah. And they
actually
had last weekend, so our race, they had a tough mutter deal or
yeah.
whatever out there.
So the property is going to have been used. Another one of those stay on the property because you don't know what you're going to find,
Yeah.
or stay on the lane because you don't know what you're going to find. But anything else with regards to racing that you want to bring up?
No, I
Oh,
mean it
we
was a
have
good
a
weekend.
we have a raptor leaving.
Yeah. No, it was a good weekend. Good race. They ended up adding in somebody that got missed in scoring in my class, so I ended up 7th and 10th.
Okay.
But still, considering I'm perfectly fine with that.
Considering but you rode good too. It wasn't that
Yeah.
you just
And the thing is, I did ride good. Um, Still not, it wasn't perfect. Uh, when I came around, because with the amount of lappers we were catching, I figured after the third lap we were done. So when I came around and I saw the white flag, I was like, shit. So the first the first few miles of my fourth lap, I was like, all right, chill out, catch your breath, and then get going. So like the fourth lap, I backed it down a little bit, except for a few sections.
yeah.
Um, and then this last week has been kind of interesting with my recovery. Uh, I think I might have overdid it a little bit.
But you look good after the race though.
Yeah, well, that was the thing. I felt good, and then Sunday night.
The wall hit.
Well, so a week or two prior, I started with my right ear. I thought, it's trying to clog up or whatever. It hurt a little bit. It lasted a day or two, then went away. Well, Sunday night, just all of a sudden after the race, it, just swelling, hurts like hell, just the whole 90 yards. Um, and then it's just kind of been downhill from there. And food wise, I was fine. I didn't get hung. I didn't run out of fuel. I can't remember how much I hydrated prior to the race, So I think I ran out of gas a little bit, or was there borderline and didn't realize it. But even during the race, halfway through, I still had the sensation to pee.
Really?
Yeah, I don't. I've got to figure out how to alleviate that problem. That that's freaking annoying. I've either got to alleviate it or I've got to learn how to piss myself when I'm riding. One or the other.
That's a tough one. I've listened to race car drivers talk about it, and Denny Hamlin just talked about it, and he did it in a race this past
Yeah,
year, and he's like, I couldn't help it, like I just could, but it was during a caution,
yeah,
like during the race, like it's hard.
yeah,
Like I said, I've only had it one time, and it was in a really tight enduro section, and I thought I was going to pee myself, and I tried, and I couldn't.
yeah,
And as soon as I set the bike down and unzipped my pants, I
yeah. It's
started
like,
peeing. Yeah,
yeah.
but
It
that's
wasn't
the only
It
time.
wasn't like terrible, but it was like, "Ah, damn it, I gotta pee.
The,
It was one. It went away, and the thing is, it went away for the most part. But then even after the race, like I didn't have to pee. Like I would.
yeah.
It,
See, MJ used to say that too. Like he would have sensations where he had to pee. I just I think my body goes into protection mode and it just shuts everything down.
yeah, I don't. I've never. I've only had this issue the last, say, 5 years ish, and because there's been races where I have like, well, enduros is easy. You do your section
Yeah,
and then you pee. But like, there's been several hair scrambles where I've stopped real quick and pit. Like I was like, I've got to go. I can't. I
that's
can't.
really weird.
And it's not like, oh, I've got to pee. I've got to pee. It's this shit hurts. Like
Yeah,
it's more. This is uncomfortable. I have to alleviate
I've
this.
I've never I don't I've never had that except that one time. But during an actual like continual
Yeah,
race, now I will tell you that when we were in the marathon, we were 22 miles in, and all of a sudden I was like, Michelle, I got to go to the bathroom,
yeah,
and I had to pee. There's no way that I mean we were hydrated the whole time, but my body is pouring everything. There's no way, but I had to pee, and
yeah,
I there was no mile. There was not another mile happening,
yeah,
so I actually waited in line so I could pee because I had to pee.
yeah,
Because marathons that would be kind of cool. Take a porta potty out to the, but marathons like they start you out and they'll be like 10 porta potties, and the next mile they'll be like seven, and
yeah,
then you'll get down to where there's one at each
yeah,
mile. Mile 22, we had just caught these two older ladies, and we had passed them, and we were passing the porta potty. And I told Michelle, I'm like, I gotta go. About that time, the little lady's like, Sally, Sally, I gotta go to the bath. Oh no, oh no. And you don't know what, and those things, you don't know if they're going to the bathroom or they're just going to
yeah,
the
yeah.
bathroom.
You don't know what's happening in
Yeah.
there.
So I will say the running, I've had it when I was doing our training. I was running in Sebring one day and I was doing a 9 mile run, and there's a bathroom on each side
Yeah,
of the lake. And I barely made it to the one bathroom. And I was like, okay, I don't like this sensation, but I've
yeah,
never had it on a race.
yeah, yeah. It's annoying, but it's one of the things like I don't know. I don't know how to fix it.
Well, if you maybe there's some extremes here. One, if you can figure out how to pee yourself, just warn your fans when you're done.
Yeah, if I can figure out how to pee myself, because that's I haven't tried. If I can, oh, I am.
I mean, they
It's
also
happening.
they also do have the male catheter tubes you can run,
Yeah,
but that seems extreme.
I don't think that'd be comfortable.
No, I know some of the, I think do they run those in like the Baja the car guys? I think some of those guys
I
do.
don't know.
I don't know either,
I
but
don't know.
or maybe they just stop because it's so long.
Yeah,
But I don't know. That's a question. Is there anybody during a race that has to go to the bathroom, and what do you do to do it? Is it an odd thing or is it a normal thing? Like,
yeah,
who's the odd one? Is he the odd one for having to pee, or am I the odd one because I don't have to pee?
yeah,
And what's that sensation? Because a lot of times it can be dehydration. You don't have to pee, but I can tell you that pretty much I'm hydrated before I start a
yeah.
race because I will pee 10 minutes before the start.
Well, and that's like I said, this weekend, I think I was a little underhydrated, but I know there's been previous times where I know I'm freaking hot, like, but maybe I'm past that point.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I've tried really, really hard to.
Are you a big sweater though?
No,
No,
in general, no,
and that
no.
could be part of it.
I don't compared to most people, I do not sweat like others. Or if I do, it takes me a longer amount of time to get to that point. Like Rich Loam last year, we were parked right across from the last check. And when I came in from the finish, I was obviously I had sweat and you know I'm dirty and everything, but like I'm just like this, and they looked over and they even made a comment like, "How the hell are you not like just?" Ugh? I'm like, I just prepared right, like I'm good, you know. So I know I don't sweat and I don't dump everything like a lot of people, but that also I think sometimes hurts me because I'm over that point.
Yeah.
And I have no way to get rid of it. So it's just sitting there. It's I don't know.
So you have to pee. It's
Yeah.
interesting. That is something I'd like.
It screws with your balance. Like
Yeah.
and I don't know if it even could like dilute you down to a point. Like you're good and you're good all the way across and everything, but you're doing this stuff so things are getting pulled out, but the fluid is still there. So as the stuff's being pulled out, the fluids that's still in your system are diluting down what's
Yeah.
I
Yeah. It's an interesting
I need
thought
somebody that
process
can do blood work.
while you're racing.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
come in, pull some blood, go back out for
Yeah.
another, and
Yeah.
see what happens.
Yeah.
But that is an interesting. We might have to dive into that question a little more. We might have to start asking some. You ever have to pee during
Yeah.
the race?
Yeah.
Because I am curious. I am curious. I mean, because we're bouncing around so much, that also puts a lot of pressure on the bladder.
Yeah. And I don't know. Maybe that's actually what I'm feeling is move.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like the
And
bladder.
it's just translating to okay to alleviate this pressure you pee.
Yeah.
It's not that I have to pee. It's
Yeah.
and then oh this
Yeah,
is
because
the
you're
only way to fix it.
constantly
Yeah.
pounding.
Yeah.
And there's probably some kidney function stuff in there and all that.
Oh yeah.
All that.
We're
But
getting deep.
yeah. And by the way, we're not scientists or doctors.
I play one in real life though.
Um, kind of what I wanted to finish up on was I always have these random thoughts, and everybody tells me they're silly, and this one's probably silly too. But I see things, and I see them from a perspective of loving racing, like just loving the sport of racing, many different kinds. We came around, made that U-turn, and it was just like, dude, people don't realize how big this is. Like there's a lot of people here.
Yeah.
So then that led me to FTR was off for almost 2 months.
Yeah.
These people want to race. And this has nothing to do with FTR. I mean, it could have something to do with FTR, but
General statement.
general statement. What would happen? My original plan was Florida's a really big state. We have a large contingent of people coming out of South Florida. We have a massive contingent of people coming out of Central Florida, and we have a contingent of people coming out of North Florida. What would happen if Florida was 3 regions from Pensacola over to Jacksonville, down, you could pick Live Oak, Gainesville, somewhere in that area. So you'd have Palatka in that northern area. There's region 1. Region 2 is below that, down to Bartow.
Yeah, basically us, yeah.
And then region 3 is south of Bartow. So you have your Okeechobee, Miami, any other area.
Yeah.
And then you ran, my original was 4, 4, and 4. Well, we don't have land in those areas, but that's a whole different, forget that part. And you have to run. You can drop 1 round at each region, but you have to run. So that way, if I'm from South Florida, I can get to Palatka, and maybe I can get up to Jackson. Man, it's going to be tough for me to go to Pensacola.
Yeah.
But the Pensacola, Tallahassee, that whole region, you invite people from Georgia and Alabama because guess what? They have a lot of off-road racing too. And you invite them down to run your races. Then I was like, okay, it's going to be tough. 4 rounds each. Okay, let's go 3, 5, and 3. Central Florida has more, and people can get there. And have like a regional. The North is running a race. The Central's running a race. The South is running a race. And I don't know what that looks like, but it's like that led me to, we could find people that can find, there's still, I know we're building
Mm.
everywhere, but there's still a lot of land.
Yeah, there is.
Even if it was a one-time race, like, hey, we're going to be developing this land, but we have it for this year.
Yeah,
You can use it this year.
yeah,
And then maybe we can help you find another plot 20 miles away.
yeah,
I know that would also mean we can't find people to volunteer to build the tracks as it is now. GNCC runs the same tracks over and over again.
hmm
National Enduro, they run a National Enduro at a facility that is owned by a club. And I can tell you that we run the same trails
yeah,
over and over and over.
yeah,
Now, they add new stuff, but there's only so much land that they have to work with.
yeah,
So it's not a matter of running or cutting new trails. Maybe you go to that property and some people ride on that property. There may already be trails that you just need to
yeah,
rehab. Those are minor minutia points that we can, if we had the ability to have a state series, a full state series.
hmm
I'm just throwing it out there. I don't have the capital. I don't understand all the stuff, but I was like, man, if we had 3 regions in Florida and you could kind of go to a different place and run, hey, I know that, like when I used to go to, I used to love going to Chipley. I
yeah,
love Chipley. Great place, awesome track. And yes, I got some good finishes there because not everybody went, but also the terrain was different
yeah,
and it was fun. That you said, you know what, a lot of this trail cutting stuff, maybe we should not go full old school. But you talked about what?
Well, like this weekend, for example, the stuff that the single track on the off camber stuff that they used, that was all. There were several parts of that had been used before, obviously, but not recently.
Mm-hmm.
So they had to go in there and recut all that by hand. Okay, cool, but that's a lot of time. What, and obviously without looking in person or having a map, okay, this is this. Okay, well, what's on this side of it to get us out of that? quit, quit just clear cutting the entire trail. Obviously, if something needs to be taken out for safety reason, whatever, yes. But just because there's a couple little whatever, like, leave it.
We used to have face slappers.
Yeah, like leave
Yeah.
the crap there. Like, no, and I understand if, okay, well, to get from point A to point B, we have to go through there, and we've never been through there, and it's say 500 feet of whatever. Okay, I get it, but there's a lot of that, and they're doing that on a whole track. Well, that does take up a lot of time and a lot of hours, and it's like, man, maybe okay, eh, or go down. Like, I quit putting in so much effort to just clean everything up and it be perfect.
Yeah.
Trust me, by Sunday afternoon, it's going to look the same way. It's going to be cleared out.
Yeah.
Especially if there's any spots where you're running the quads through with everybody else. By the time they get done, it's going to be cleared. Like, leave it alone. So I think that would greatly help if they just back off cutting everything by hand and doing this and do like just chill with it. I get their spots you need to do that, but if you made say 3 tracks and they're all this, like, that's a lot of time. Like, no, just stop.
Yeah.
Just quit doing it.
Yeah.
Simplify it. And I know some people, I've, from when people have posted, I know there's some people that they've gone and they've tried to help clubs and new blood coming in and trying to offer suggest, like, isn't received well. And that's the problem is, well, maybe y'all should listen. Like, hey, why don't we try this? Or, hey, why don't we do this? Because the old regime that's there, that's from that era, isn't doing things the way they did during that era.
Yeah.
They're doing things the opposite. Where you have some of us, the new regime, per se, would go back to that. Like, so.
And I guess one of my questions, well, one of my things is we need somebody that is a land manager, land attorney, someone that's really good at selling. I know land's expensive. I know insurance expensive. I know people don't want the liability, but there's racing happening
Well,
all over, all over.
well, like you talk about that, and I've said this numerous times, and we've talked about it several times. year year Years and years ago, FTR should have bought their own property. FTR as an organization should have bought wherever their own piece of land to where you could have the banquet there. Uh, if you had a piece of property that fell through, the club could come and use it for like many applications.
Yeah.
But they should have their own piece of property or properties by this point. If you sat down and you did the math and you broke it down, it's like you're talking about all these. Well, hell, you could have a piece of property in Okeechobee. You could have one in Central. You could have one in North.
Yeah.
If you don't need it, it just sits there. It's not like the taxes are high on just vacant property.
Or you can lease it for hunting or
Exactly.
something, or
So there's that. And then, like, me and my dad were talking the other day about the whole Lake Elsinore out in California, that
Yeah.
whole deal about them shutting down because that little girl got killed. And I brought up to him. I'm like, this is what don't make any sense to me. So we go to a race. The organization, the club, they got to have all this insurance. It's to protect the landowner. Okay, so we have these multi-million-dollar policies. We go in, we sign this, we do this, all this crap. Something happens. Well, the people sue, they don't sue. Either way, we still get 99% of the time, we still lose the property. So then what's the freaking point? Who cares? If you're going to sue us, or even if they don't sue, you pull the property from us. They sue us, you pull the property from us. What does it matter? Like, I don't see when you break it down to that point, I don't see the point of why do I need all this insurance? Who's protecting us as the riders, the club, the group of like who's
it's supposed to
protecting?
be those 3 letters on your shirt.
Well, yeah, this organization is a freaking joke. But that's my point is
That's who's supposed to be protecting us.
well, that's who's writing all the insurance policies. But when something happens, we lose property.
Yeah.
Whether they get sued or not, we lose. So what's the point? I don't get it. Like,
And that's the thing I am not digging on FTR. I'm wanting more. I'm wanting there's someone like a Donnie Richardson that cares about safety, that started a safety team.
yeah,
There's someone in the FTR, outside the FTR, I don't care if it's the motocross. There is someone that has the skill set to put proposals together,
yeah,
to go talk to landowners, or they're good at it.
yeah.
We need that person.
Yeah.
There's someone in the state of Florida. There is a lot of motorcycling happening. If you just go up to Georgia, there's a lot of motorcycling happening. North Carolina, there's areas. So there's got to be somebody that knows somebody that is good at that can say, hey.
And we're supposed to have that. There's supposed to be that, but I don't know what the status of that is.
Yeah, but that person, whether it's to help FTR or they want to try it on their own,
Yeah.
I don't care. I don't care. But
like we discussed, or you talked about for a second the other weekend, normally every season there's 2 to 3 people. Hey, I've got property. Hey, I've got this, but we never go anywhere different.
Yeah.
Why?
What happens?
Yeah, what happens? Yeah. But then I also know that we have lost properties due to interference from individuals within FTR that overstepped their bounds and screwed things for that club. So you need something, like you said, you need somebody that handles this.
Yeah.
That's all they do. This is them. Not the club, not the president, not this person, not them.
Hey, clubs, we've got these properties.
Yeah.
You want to host a race?
Yeah.
We've
Yep.
got these properties.
Yep.
These are available.
Yep.
Because I'm telling you, at some point, we're going to lose the Clear Springs property.
Yeah.
I've seen the development map. At some point, when time is right,
Yeah.
that property, it could be 10 years from now. It could be 2 years from now.
Yeah.
But at some point, I've seen the development map. I sat through a county-wide development meeting. I've seen the map.
Yeah.
That property goes bye-bye, and
Yeah.
it turns into a wonderful multi-use community.
Yeah.
So we need somebody that can put together. And you're talking about the land use stuff and different things like that property this weekend. And I know it comes down to manpower, and it comes down, I understand, I get all that. But then I watch these enduro videos from the World Enduro stuff, and they're doing a lot of miles in these sections. And I'm not talking about the whole course. I'm talking about where all the fans were this weekend. There were a lot of areas that could have been utilized as a grass track section so that we could see.
Yeah.
But it means running ribbon.
Yeah.
But I watch these enduros, there's ribbon run everywhere.
Yeah.
And I understand it's a section, but I'm saying a section. Once they leave that section, then you do whatever you want.
Yeah.
But
I think it's
we could have gotten a mile of fun stuff for the fans to watch.
I think it's just mindset and not wanting to do it. Like it's.
And I know I can come out and volunteer and I can help. If I could, I'd be racing right now. So obviously that's not in my wheelhouse.
Yeah.
And I'm not complaining. I see one thing and I go and watch another.
Yeah.
And as a person who enjoys it, that's why I like IMSA racing over NASCAR, because I can walk around the IMSA garage and I can walk into somebody's garage.
Yeah.
It's professional. Supercross, you can walk through the pits. You know why people like the NHRA? No one likes watching cars go a quarter of a mile. You know why people love the NHR? Because it's open pits.
Yeah. They can see everything.
They can see everything. Yeah. So let's take that to our racing. I watch on YouTube races, and people are lining fences, or they're lining ribbon, or I go to a race that's in my community, and I see the start, they disappear, they come through another section, they disappear, I walk over here. Why couldn't we have them do a grass section in that area where the fans are, and then disappear?
Yeah.
And then guess what? You can probably cut a mile of work because you got everything right here.
Yeah.
And I'm not complaining. I watch one thing and I go see another.
Yeah.
And
it's adapting to the times and the changes that need to be made. That's it. That's what it basically boils down to.
Because our time format, people are happy with the 2 hour in the morning cutting time for the leader.
Yeah.
And they're happy with the 2 hours. I really don't hear much about that anymore. Like,
yeah, I've only heard a couple people about the morning deal, and basically they did a lap or they did this and it didn't count or whatever. Which I do agree. If you start the lap, it should count. But basically they timed out, and then if you look at their class, it's like their master C or what. It's like, look, dude, realistically, you're only going to do 2 laps.
Yeah.
Your only way you're going to get more is you need to move up in rows.
Yeah, and it's a time thing. Like you start at a certain row, you're kind of guaranteed, unless you're super fast, you're kind of know I might get 4, I'm probably going to get 3.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to get 2.
Yeah.
And that's okay. That's where they do that for your health and your speed. Yeah. But that's not what I'm complaining. I'm not complaining. I want
offering
more. I want more.
Yeah.
I want more, because maybe land we don't have to have. I mean, I see the maps. I used to run GPS, and you're like, dude, we're like way out here and cool, but maybe we could be in here.
Yeah.
In this section.
Yeah. What are you leaving out in here?
Yeah.
Is it usable? Is it not usable?
Yeah.
Or is it okay? It's usable, but it's going to take a lot of work.
And then that goes back to your okay, we're not going to
Yeah,
do that.
leave it alone. Or okay, you know what? Let's mess with it here and there, and maybe next year or the year after,
Yeah.
we'll tie it in, and then it's not a whole bunch of we've got 3 weeks to get this. What's going to turn out to be 2 miles done? That takes us, 4 weeks to do. Like,
Yeah. And that's the part I bring up. I'll use an example of one of everybody's favorite places, the Punta Gorda tract and Brooksville, two completely different kinds of property. The Punta Gorda tract, if you look at that map, they don't have a lot of land to utilize.
no, it's very small.
So what you get is you get it one way, you get it backwards, and
Yeah,
there's not a lot they can do.
yeah,
I mean, I guess if they wanted to, they could, instead of running us a lot like this, they could just do this.
yeah,
But maybe that's not the best use. Brooksville, there's sections that they can only do certain ways. But even in their sections, they've gotten creative a couple times now,
yeah.
changing stuff up. That's what I'm. Just give us. We're thinking about things.
Yeah.
We're trying something.
Now this year we should be different. Like, so with Punta Gorda, so the last time I went down there when we went to 74, the front part was still underwater. So when we do end up back down there, after all the rain we've gotten, that property should be changed some because
Yeah.
of a lot of stuff washing in.
Yeah.
Same thing with like Okeechobee after what happened last year, and then all these storms and all, like, there's a lot of stuff there that should be washed in and changed. So
Yeah.
just from weather events, some of these spots will be it's the same, but it's not going to be the same.
Yeah.
It's going to be a little bit different.
But so I'm basically throwing out the idea of a regional type format that is the state of Florida, the FTR,
Yeah,
or somebody looking for somebody that's got mindset to throw something like that together. Looking at land manager, land attorney, someone that's really good talking to people about how cool it is to have these group of people there,
yeah,
and if they have a side business, they can sell their stuff there. I mean, we have vendors that want to be a part of our program
yeah,
now. Like they sell food, they
yeah,
sell stuff. I mean, we have shops that come to the races to sell stuff
yeah,
now. So there's a business model there.
yeah,
Um, let's make it viable. But that's kind of, you and I've talked about it. You were talking, and I think that's another question too, is can we get some clarity? Like when someone says, hey, I know somebody that has some land, what happens during those conversations?
yeah.
Just
Who is having those conversations?
Yeah, and just curious, because I'm just curious. Being in the real estate industry, we have a lot of conversations that go nowhere.
Yeah,
A lot. And this is what I want to do. And we have people right now. I've got a 5-acre parcel of property that it's one house per 5. Do you think they'll subdivide it into an acre? I don't know. You got to think that with the county.
yeah,
But the reason they did this is because this is what they want.
yeah,
Is that what's happening? Oh, well, we're allowed to farm, but we're not allowed to do X, Y, Z. Oh, okay, cool. If that's what's happening,
yeah,
then we understand. But we, like you say, we'll have, oh, this person's got such and such property. Okay, cool. Oh, I know that area. Yeah, yeah. And then it's
no,
crickets.
yeah,
So those are just I guess since I'm not racing, my curiosity is really piqued on how things are going.
yeah,
Like I'm even studying the Arena Cross series right now and why some teams are finding that a viable option to send riders who could go race Supercross. There's teams that are sending riders to ride Arena Cross now because there's a TV package. There's this.
yeah,
They're getting a better value for their sponsors. They have more openness in the pits
yeah,
where they can sell their stuff, and they're not told they can't.
yeah,
Oh, okay. So they're reaching a different audience. GNCC is going through its own stuff right
yeah,
now. It's a good opportunity for Florida that runs one of the largest series to kind of pick up some people,
yeah,
especially if you have people because we used to have riders from Georgia that used to come race
yeah. There's a few people
from southern Georgia. I remember,
Yeah,
and especially when we had races that were up in the north and down into Palatka, maybe in Ocala. I remember
yeah,
those people being at the races a lot.
yeah,
Um, But no, I think the crowd. Honestly, the crowd management this weekend. Props to FTR. It was actually pretty good. Like
Was it?
I didn't see a lot of like shenanigans.
Yeah.
There's still the pit vehicle thing,
Yeah.
but overall,
Yeah.
I know we had a kid get kicked by a was he racing or was
It
he
was. It
riding?
was during practice.
So one of the horses that's on the property.
I'm not sure if he. I think he collided with the horse in some way, shape, or form.
Okay.
I don't know if he came around and just nailed it or like it
Yeah.
ran out and hit. Like I don't know.
Those are just cattle horses. They get put out. Sometimes they don't get worked for months at a
Yeah.
time, and but
Yeah.
those are real cattle
But I
horses.
know, like at that track, like there's been several times where whatever herd of cows have meandered
Yeah.
onto the track or whatever. It's not all the time, but it's here and there. Like this year though, didn't see anything.
Well, we've had. I know that one year we were parked near the trees down there in the little valley. This is a long
Hmm.
time ago when you could actually get down there.
Yeah,
Um, the horses came through. All the horses came through the pits,
yeah,
and but they're just out there.
yeah,
They're actually working. They're not wild people.
yeah,
They're
yeah,
actually
yeah, yeah.
working horses.
And then like a couple years ago at Punta Gorda, when the cows had a calf on the track, like she gave birth and there it was. Um, and I want to say a couple riders actually ended up stopping and moving the cat or doing something to
Yeah.
help get the cat. But yeah, like just okay, I'm having it here.
That happened at Dade City. One year I used to go help with that,
Yeah,
and a mom birthed the calf while we were working,
yeah,
and it was like, okay, we need to help, like make sure everything's up and moving, and
yeah,
we're gonna stop working here for the time being because
yeah,
they don't care.
yeah,
But no, overall, I thought it went good. Good rider turnout. I know some people were saying records, but I counted and I counted classes and but like your race, there was almost 300 people in the morning race.
yeah. Well,
That's
there was 290, 94, 97 that did at least a lap, but
yeah.
then there was another
That didn't finish.
30
Yeah,
something that didn't even finish a lap or didn't I mean it was well over 300.
and even that, and I feel the afternoon race should never have as many people in it. If you follow any series, the tougher the it should
Yeah,
there seem like there's a good number mix.
is there? I haven't really paid attention to it.
There was 200 ish in the afternoon, 300 ish in the morning.
Okay.
That's
Well, I mean, I mean, traditionally used to, it was if you, I'd say you had on average, say 100 in the afternoon.
yeah. And we're almost at 200 ish
Yeah,
now. So that's
and we've always had at least say 250 in the morning.
yeah.
So the morning, which part of it is moving vet and all that, um, but the afternoon race has grown a little bit. The morning race has grown just a hair, but
Yeah.
not much. So
But I think that's because they've shifted 3 classes from the morning
yeah,
to the afternoon.
that's part of it. But I think like we talked about a couple seasons ago when they got everybody showed their ass about getting rid of sportsmen.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm done. I done bullshit.
It didn't hurt.
No, everybody fell in line where they were supposed to be,
Yep.
and that's what happened. Everybody went to where they're supposed to be, and problem solved.
And
And I
guess
think
what?
that's what some of those numbers are, is those say 100 total dispersed.
Yeah. But it's good. It's good to see. It's good to see with everything that's going on. We still have people coming. We
Yeah,
still have people. I mean, hell, I'm not even racing, and I'm going. Like
yeah,
I've been to both Hare Scrambles so far this
yeah,
year, and I haven't raced, but they're fun. It's fun to go
yeah,
see people and watch, and it is a good weekend. I think you actually brought it up, and we'll finish on this. When I first started, had already been going well before me and had stopped. When I first started, we used to show up with a truck and our bike in the back,
yeah,
and then we went to a trailer,
yeah,
and then we went to a travel trailer, but we had this little space and you could watch, and it's done it in motocross and it's doing it in ours. It used to be you went with your dad or your wife and you went and raced and you came home.
Yeah.
That was it. You went and raced and you came home. Well, it has turned into it's a great weekend for your family.
Yeah.
You go, and I joke about it all the time, but where else can you go and camp for $20?
Yeah, and that's that's part of that is part of what a lot of people are missing. You know, like at this race, they charge $5 for a pit vehicle. At the next race, the gate fee went up $10. But when you still break down the numbers, you're still way cheaper than trying to go do any other series or do that. Like,
Yeah.
and that's what they don't. You can't get through their head. They don't. They won't recognize it and understand. Like, to go do this, it costs this much. To go do this, it costs this much. Like they don't.
Take your same setup and go spend 3 days at Minio's.
Yeah.
Take your same setup. They charge you. You want Wi-Fi? You want a golf cart?
Yeah.
You want this? You want that? Oh, you're gonna race? Okay, cool. You're gonna race this class? Cool. Take that same.
Yeah.
Take your same setup. However you came to this race.
Yeah. Instead of a $300 weekend, you're about to have $1,000
Yeah.
weekend or more.
Yeah. But I go to. You can't go anywhere else. Polk County campgrounds are $20 per night.
Yeah.
You get to go park and camp for $20. I know it's dry camping, but that's okay.
Yeah.
You can take your golf cart out. Your kids can run around. It's fairly safe.
Yeah.
And you can have a great weekend with your family 13 to 10 times a year. It's a cool thing.
Yeah.
That's what it's turned into, though. You see these people, they're coming with these large campers, but they got mama can cook, they can grill out, they can watch TV. I mean, the setup some of these people have is amazing, but they're making a weekend
I
of it.
wouldn't even say it's amazing. I'd say it's ridiculous.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna critique that. I'm thinking more of we like it simple. We do things on the simple. But when I had a kid and we had our little camper, and we made weekends out of it.
Yeah.
We cooked food and we had a little group of people and we hung out.
Well, like that's kind of going to be the thing with which we've kind of discussed it a little bit. You know, the next race Gunner plans on. We'll ride and practice. We'll see what happens. He races. If he likes doing it, okay, that kind of changes our structure of how we do things. Yeah. Well, like I've told her, I'm like, financially, it makes way more sense to go go get a hotel room than it does to do any of this other stuff, because I can get a hotel room at every race and still come out thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dollars ahead. And it's like it, and you know, my dad having a motorhome for years, 2 different times. It's the headache that's there. The fuel cost is like, I know there's a little part you're missing at the track, but it's like, it ain't. To me, it's not worth the headache. It really isn't.
Those are the 2 ways to go, but you're still making a weekend of it.
Yeah.
Whether you go to, I mean, you and I have traveled all over the Southeast. We went out. Where are we gonna go eat?
Yeah.
What are we doing? What's on TV? We still made weekends of it. So whether these people are camping or they're hoteling it, these weekends, the FTR has something viable.
Yeah.
They have something viable for these communities. When we went up to North Florida, how many people either went to restaurants or went and stayed in the hotel in the community? Like, they need to be approaching these communities. We're bringing X amount of people.
Yeah.
They're going to be stopping to get fuel. They're going to be stopping to eat. They're going to be getting ice. They're going to be getting something to drink. We're bringing a circus to town.
Well, you're bringing money. You're bringing a lot of money. And that's some of what I think is left out when places are approached or whatever. It's not just, oh, we're paying the landowner. Okay, well, if there's this and this, well, I mean, I'm just throwing out numbers. Okay, well, in general, we're bringing in, say, $30,000 in 2 days.
Yeah.
Well, that kind of changes the tune to some people. when they go to thinking about it, like, oh, well, maybe we need to look into this, you know?
Yeah, I think at Bartow, we have traditionally held 2 to 3 races there every year.
Yeah.
Now it's pretty central, but there's a lot of people that come up for the weekend.
Yeah.
Well, there's motels, hotels in Bartow. Now there's even more restaurants. Those people are going to those,
Yeah.
especially if they're staying in a hotel.
Yeah.
But Bartow's so centrally located. If you do have a camper, not a RV, but a camper, you drop that camper. Hey, we're going to go into Chipotle and eat.
Yeah.
We're going to go here. We're going into Publix to shop. The hotels, there's also money to be had from those counties for putting heads in beds.
Yeah.
I mean, Polk County has Polk County Sports Marketing. The whole premise of Polk County Sports Marketing is heads in beds.
Yeah.
Well, how many hotel nights does FTR bring for those events?
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't run the numbers, but it'd be pretty easy to do a survey. Did you drive in? Did you spend the night in a hotel?
Yeah.
How many nights did you spend the night in a hotel?
Yeah.
So I don't know, but I feel like there is something there that can be done to make it. Yes, it's dangerous, but Polk County also hosts bull riding in the arena, in the Lakeland Arena thing. That's dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
You
You
know,
got River Ranch. You got Auburndale Speedway.
yeah,
Like,
there's dangerous stuff. So
Yeah.
what makes ours so much worse?
it's not. It's a persona.
You're bringing families.
It's a it boils down. It's a misunderstanding. They don't actually know what it is,
Yeah.
so they just say no.
But that's where I feel like we need that person
Yeah.
that can talk and sell it.
Yeah.
I mean, basically, it's a lack of better terms. You're selling it. But those are my ideas. They're really off. Not. I don't even say they're off the wall. They're just. I'm trying to think outside the box.
Yeah.
I have a bush hog. For God's sakes, if it's just, oh man, we got to go bush hog this so we can make the. Okay, cool. Like, there's other people that have bush hogs.
Yeah.
There's I know that all costs money, but I see the people we're bringing in.
Yeah.
So, let's do something with it. Let's do something with it.
Well, and which I know which way it's going to go, but like we're doing FTR president elections right now, and it's between two people. I know which way it's going to go, but you get some different people, and that's the problem is the same people keep getting put into the same roles over and over and over because the majority refuses to allow change, allow maybe something different to happen, and that goes back to like everything you're saying. Like you got new, you got status quo. Well, the majority want status quo, and it's like, well, it's never going to change, until you do this.
Yeah. I mean, if I had enough space, I'd run a race because we could get some mileage just here. Like on this little piece of property, it would be tight and but you could do it and people could watch.
Yeah.
But no, I just I'm proud of the amount of people that are wanting to be involved in FTR. I'm proud. I'm also excited that there's that many people. Let's give them something.
Yeah.
Let's give them something. I know we're giving them a place to race, but let's be the positive motorcycle. Let's show it's positive.
Yeah.
Let's show like there's a lot of good series out there. There's a lot of positive happening. I listened to a podcast recently about all the numbers NBC got for the racing this year.
Mm-hmm.
IndyCar is gone from NBC, and IndyCar is now with Fox. NBC is going to utilize more Supercross and motocross stuff because they've lost IndyCar.
Yeah.
Well, we're not going to compete with IndyCar, but we have the same audience base. They like the sound.
Yeah.
IndyCar's loud. Motorcycles are loud. They're fast.
Yeah.
Motorcycles are fast. Let's utilize that on the amateur side and use that growth. Arena cross is growing. So let's use that.
Yeah.
Let's think just a bit outside the box. I'm not saying we have to change the whole thing. Let's think a little bit outside the box.
Yeah.
There's going to be a group of people that don't want to travel. That's fine. But let's try to find a piece of property north of Palatka and have a race. Like up in that where we
Lake
raced.
Butler and all
Lake
that. Yeah.
Butler. Mary Shoals, that area up in that's some beautiful land
Yeah.
up there.
Yeah.
Oh dang it, it's right up 75, Madison.
Yeah.
That area. Even if you don't want to go to the Panhandle, that's cool. But that area is wide open.
And
Let's
there
go
is
up there.
nothing there.
Yeah,
It's vacant.
let's go. Let's. When we raced in Madison, I stayed in Valdosta, Georgia.
Yeah.
It was 25 minutes. wasn't a big. It wasn't
Yeah,
a
it's
big
right
deal.
there. Yeah.
But it's okay. It's okay. Like it was a fun weekend.
Yeah.
We stayed in the hotel. We went to Outback. I think we went to Waffle House. Make it a fun weekend. Show how much fun you're having, and guess what? Those people that didn't want to go, they're gonna take Monday off. You and I talked about it. Like take Friday off or take Monday off and go have a weekend.
Yeah.
With your family, something different. Going to those kind of places made me want to race other series and see what other land looked like.
Yeah.
So I don't know, just my random thoughts, and you're the person that I can talk to about, and we just put it on wax so that everybody can. But we're looking for ideas. P problems, land use issues, and a regional series, and making tracks simpler for the builders.
Yep.
We used to have face slappers. It was okay. We figured it out.
They went away eventually.
Yeah. I will say the one thing, you can leave face slappers. You can leave low branches. We'll duck. We can't run GoPros anymore anyway. The vines, you can get rid of the vines because that's scary.
Yeah.
But you leave the face slappers. They're fine.
Yeah. The vines you got to at least cut to where they'll break, or they'll just pull through,
Because that they hurt.
Yeah.
They hurt real bad.
So that's definitely a safety deal because that can end badly in numerous ways.
Yeah. So, but thank you for making time to come do this. I guess the next one will be after the next race. There's nothing before that, right? I know there's an enduro.
Yeah, no.
It's like St. Mary's Shoal.
Yeah, but I mean that's kind of dependent, I think, on this whatever
The storm
goes and how much water it dumps up there. Like it's kind of I think right now it's kind of up in the air, but
next race we'll be covering is
Bartow.
So December 7th and 8th, I think. Is that right? 8th and 9th.
Yeah.
7th and 8th. Saturday, Sunday. I'll for sure be out there on the Sunday. Don't know about Saturday, but if I'm free, I'll go out and check it out. But if you're near, go down Highway 60, go to 80-foot road, take 80-foot road south. When you get to Cox Road, turn right, and just go until you can't go anymore, and you'll see on the hill the campsite.
Yeah, you can't miss it.
It's like miniature Burning
This
Man.
was like Bartow. Like, I don't know where. What's the exact? You can't. Like, you're not going to miss it. Like, you're going to see it.
Yeah, if you just get on 17, head south, you'll see it.
If you hit 640 and you still ain't seen it, then you're freaking blind.
Yeah. But this has been episode 2 of season 2 of the Beyond the Curve podcast goes off road, and that is Jason Crowley. I am Trey Heath, and we will see you in less than a month. Bye-bye.